Hi, this is Laurel here to talk to you about the full blue moon in Aquarius happening on August 22nd at 8:02 a.m. And it's a blue moon because this is the second Aquarius moon we've had in the last month, which is a rarity. Aquarius energy is strong, and it's happening at 29 degrees, which is considered to be a critical degree point. Change is happening. Soon after this full moon, it will move into Pisces. So this is a graduation. We've had a lot of Aquarius energy this year with Saturn and Jupiter moving through that sign. And whenever we have a full moon, it demands action. We have the sun opposite the moon. And it also puts a spotlight on the archetype of the moon, in this case Aquarius, which is about freedom. It also governs systems and networks and humanity and society, and it's opposing the sign of Leo. The sun is in Leo. What is Leo about? Leo is the individual, the needs of the self. And we can see this conflict playing out in the world at large. And with this full moon, we're being invited to take that energy, reflect inward, and say, where are the demands or the needs of myself in conflict with the needs of others? And how can I reconcile them? So there's an emotional awareness we're being invited to have about our life, to come to understand our life from a higher vantage point. And it's an energy shift into a future timeline. It's a strong honoring of your own energy based on what is true for you. So what do we do with this? And I'm just going to interject here and give a little plug for my Astro Advocacy membership community, because this is exactly the type of information that I'll be sharing in that community when it launches this fall. And I want to invite you, if you're interested in how to harness the energy and the wisdom of astrology to live your best life, to check out more about that community. There's a link below. I'll be sharing more about it in the coming weeks, but it's exactly this kind of information that we can use to apply to our life. So one of the messages from this full moon might be that it's time for you to separate from your tribe. You can't hold yourself back for others, and that's what Aquarius encourages us to do, is to be our own unique self. And there are times, especially with Aquarius energy, so those of you Sun, Moon, or Rising Aquarians are going to be feeling this extra strong. I know that I am as an Aquarius moon. There are times when we have to travel alone. And then we have this courage of the sun in Leo to be ourselves, to be our unique Aquarian selves. So how do we stay in that energy despite all of the external influences that are swirling around us? And this is where we have to apply the energy and apply it inward. Now, we have some other aspects to this moon that I'll continue to share about, so you can get a sense of the flavor of this, of the different aspects of ourselves that we're being required to integrate. The moon is next to, conjoined with, Jupiter. Jupiter is our higher self. It brings expansion, so it's reinforcing this message of internal growth in a higher perspective. Right now, Jupiter is retrograde, which means that its movement has come to a standstill. And so this is an energy that we are feeling internally. It's a time of reflection of what does our higher self calling us to do. And ultimately, it's wanting to set us free from those restrictions that have held us back from being our unique selves. There's something opening up here with this Aquarius moon, which has been building since January of 2020. I like to think of this as actually the time where we get to finally start implementing all that we have been integrating and experiencing and reflecting upon. And sometimes that might be coming from external changes, but there's something that wants us to change. And so Jupiter is supporting us to expand in a new direction that might be calling us. Jupiter also asks us to ask the question, where am I underestimating myself? Where can I develop the courage to express my authenticity? Where can I believe in myself more or make a bigger bet on myself? And if we go for it, Jupiter supports us. And that sun opposition to the emotional needs we might be feeling to do that is creating a bit more of a challenge. But again, whenever we have an opposition, there's a energy we're being called to work out. So Leo, the sun in Leo, again, asking you to trust your gut and the creative expression That's what Leo is about. It's illuminating an energy that's been with us since that new moon in Leo on August 8th. So there's something we're being called to see about the bigger picture, about how we can step forward more into our own self. And there's also an interesting aspect happening with this full moon with Uranus. We have Uranus making a trine to Mars and Mercury and Virgo. So what does this mean? Uranus is here to try to clear the deck out of the way and have us go in authentic direction. Again, you're sensing this theme of authenticity. So in this year, Uranus is, along with Saturn, are making a square to each other. So this energy is saying to us, or is having the effect that we might feel like we have one foot in this life, the new life we've been creating, and another foot in the old life. And we're still not able to integrate them. So there might be the pull of old fears and insecurities, an old job, a home situation that's demanding to be changed. And we aren't quite sure yet where we want to be, but we're feeling that tug. So Uranus is retrograde, or is getting ready to go retrograde before this full moon on August 19th. At the time I'm making this, it is not yet retrograde. And so we're going to have an opportunity again when the planets go retrograde to reflect inwardly on this energy. So there is a possibility here for new directions, for new productivity. And in the sign of Virgo, this might be something that has to do with our health, with our physical body. So it's important at the time of this full moon to listen to any messages you might be getting from your body, because Uranus is making a trine to Mercury in Virgo, and it's asking us, a trine is very supportive energy, to where might we need to ground ourselves, to stabilize ourselves a bit more into our lives. So, and there's one other aspect, as if that weren't enough. We have Jupiter, we have Uranus making a trine to Virgo, and then we also have Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, the North Node in Gemini, and Venus in Libra making a grand trine. So this is asking us to think about our commitments. It's supporting us to gather the right information and to make the right decisions and choices when it comes to contracts and longer-term commitments. It's bringing a turning point in our relationships, because Gemini is about communication, and Venus in Libra is about relationships, and then we have Saturn in Aquarius, long-term commitments. So there is a maturity that's happening here. We're being asked to know and to communicate our truth from a higher perspective, from a place of appreciation, love, and gratitude. So you might need to negotiate something a little bit differently with someone, or to present what's on your mind to somebody. But again, as with this full moon in Aquarius, it's here to set us free. It's here to have us speak our truth authentically. And it's, above all, this full moon is about connecting with that authentic truth and what is true for us. So there is a freedom that's calling you. What is that call for you? What does it sound like, and how are you listening to your body, and how are you honoring that call to express yourself more fully and authentically in a unique and different way? So I'll leave you with those questions. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the kind of content I will be producing in my Astro Advocacy community, with details on all of the signs. But more than that, it's a teaching, it's an opportunity within this community to learn how to implement and integrate this energy so that we can live our fullest lives, and to have the support of other women so that we can use astrology to navigate life's transitions. So again, the link is below. If you're interested in that, I'll be talking more about it. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Your Astro Advocate here.